I am a huge fan of the Yakuza series. Ever since the release of Yakuza 0 on PC back in 2018, I've kept up to date with it ever since because, to put it lightly, I think the franchise is amazing. What isn't amazing though is the achievement list of the older games, because to achieve 100% completion, you would have to learn Mahjong. Fuck learning Mahjong.
Never trust a goddamn horse!
Luckily, they figured that no one actually wants to do this, so they made the 100% journey a far more enjoyable experience, starting with Like a Dragon Gaiden, and the brand new game Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii is no different. Yes, that's the actual name of the game. I've been looking forward to this game for a while, especially considering the fact we get to play as Majima, which we haven't been able to do since Kiwami 2 back in 2017. Anyway, let's get on to the achievement grind. The game wastes absolutely no time getting straight to it.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this.
Cutting to Majima washed up on the beach being found by a child and his pet tiger. Pretty standard stuff for a Yakuza game. The kid offers Majima some water, cautious at the fact this is some random ass stranger with an eye patch who has just washed ashore on their remote island. The kid introduces himself as Noah, and Majima doesn't introduce himself as anything because it turns out he has amnesia from whatever event has caused him to wash up here. There's not much time to figure stuff out before we're ambushed by pirates, and we see that Noah has an asthma condition as he starts coughing out of panic. After his coughing fit, he then tries to reason with the pirates to try and get them to not hurt Majima because he's a complete stranger. Before they can beat the shit out of Noah, Majima stops them out of instinct. Even without his memories, he wouldn't let a kid get harmed, which is how we're introduced to the combat, which honestly is one of the best combat systems in the franchise. I swear with every game, RGG have been managing to one-up themselves with the combat. For now, we only have the Mad Dog style to use, which has had a major upgrade since we last got to play as Majima. We get introduced to another important thing on this island, and that's the petting zoo, where we can recruit animals and feed them, giving us ingredients for another minigame that I'll get to later in the video. At one point, Majima and Noah sit by a fire and have a heart-to-heart, where Noah explains how his dad won't let him leave the island due to his condition, which he finds unfair considering the fact he wants to see the world, which is what becomes the driving force for Majima in this story. He wants to help this kid achieve his dream, and to do so, he beats the shit out of a pirate captain called Jack the Collector and steals his ship. Since he defeated the captain, Majima is crowned the new captain of the ship, and they set sail, which then leads to a musical number.
Heave-ho, off we go, on our ship to waters unknown. Welcome aboard, there's no stopping us now that we're chasing after our dreams.
Yep, this is a Yakuza game.
Yar-har, favorite indeed, being a pirate is our...
Oh, and they're accompanied by Noah's dad and a fella named Masura. Please put images of them on the screen, Squidge, because I forgot to record footage of their important scenes.
Impossible. Perhaps the archives are incomplete.
Anyway, this is how Chapter 1 ends, giving us our first achievement. Chapter 2 wastes absolutely no time, with Jack the Collector tailing us wanting his ship back, which is perfect because it allows us to learn about naval battles. Now, usually I hate ship fights in most games. Hell, vehicle combat in general is usually a low point for me, but in this, it's a different story. All I need to say is your ship has jets on the back and you have Gatling guns. The Yakuza franchise never disappoints. Damaging Jack's ship lets us move on to the next important aspect of naval battles. Boarding the ship with your crew and murdering absolutely everyone on there.
Remember, no rushing.
We also get introduced to the new pirate fighting style, which is an absolute blast. I fucking love this shit. In the 30 hours I spent 100%ing this, it never got old. After respectfully telling Jack to fuck off by murdering all his mates, we are then let loose to explore the surrounding area with our ship. During this time we fight other ships and explore random islands for treasure, which give us loads of money and pirate points. These are both used to upgrade Majima, which is how I got the achievement for getting 10, 20, 40 and finally 60 abilities. For these stackable achievements, I don't see much point in pointing out when I get them separately, because I mean it requires me to do the same shit, so I may as well get it out of the way now. With the points we earn from treasure, we also rank up our pirate stature, which is another stackable achievement that I earned throughout the game, going from Sea Leg Haver to Popular Picaroons to Buccaneer Big Shots and finally, Legends of the Sea. It's achievements you get naturally by just playing through the game. Our next stop is a place we heard about on Rich Island at the start, and that place is called Madlantis. It's this really cool area within a cave made out of broken ships and shit. It's known for its arena where you can fight other ships to see who is the best pirate. For now though, we don't want to do that. We want to focus on the batting minigame we can do there because there's an achievement tied to it for destroying 1,500 barrels, which is insanely easy to do because there's a lot of explosive ones. Anyway, we can't compete in the tournament right now because we don't have a big enough crew, and because our ship, the Goromaru, named after the little tiger, is in complete shambles and not fit for combat, even though we destroyed like 20 ships getting here, but alright. We make our way to Honolulu because supposedly there is someone at a familiar place called Revolve Bar who has a lot of contacts, and one of them might be someone who can fix up the ship. This is the point where we're set free to do whatever we want, and where we can get most of the achievements. Fuck that though, the first thing you do when you're free in a Yakuza game is karaoke. And yep, this game does not disappoint. Even the English dub for the karaoke is great.
Oh, my princess, I love you. You know that it's true, and I know you love me.
Matt Mercer has such an angelic voice.
I'd fuck the shit out of him.
At Revolve, we're told about a mechanic who can fix up our boat, but it's going to take days for them to do this, so that gives us time to recruit new crewmates, which is related to another stackable achievement we can get here, recruiting 30, 60, and 80 new crewmates to the Goromaru. We're also able to find animals around Honolulu to recruit them for the petting zoo back on Rich Island, and we get an achievement for finding 7 of them. Within this point of the game, we also get free reign to customize Majima, a returning feature from Gaiden, which is much appreciated. And in and around Honolulu, we can find loads of clothing stores for customization items for not only Majima, but also the Goromaru once it's repaired, which is where we get achievements for getting 20, 50, and 100 clothing items, as well as 50 customization pieces for the Goromaru. Oh, I almost forgot about the rings too, which act as buffs you can equip. You get an achievement for putting 1 on every finger. Not gonna lie, I got a good 40 odd achievements out of the 62 in chapter 2 alone. So let me tick off a few more. Dragon Cart makes a return, and we get an achievement for earning free trophies from it. So does Crazy Eats, which we also need to do for an achievement. There's also the photo minigame from Infinite Wealth, where we get an achievement for taking 30 photos of points of interest. There's the Academy, where you can get an achievement for completing 5 tests, which I definitely didn't have the answers for on my second monitor.
That's right, we're gonna cheat.
Aloha Links also make a return, which is a mechanic where you can befriend people by waving at them, and instead of a restraining order, you get an achievement for harassing 30 people. A naturally earned achievement I got making my way around Hawaii was creating 56 doppelgangers of Majima, which is like an ultimate ability you can perform with the Mad Dog style. You can get this easily by doing the bounties around Honolulu, which is another set of achievements you can get for taking on 20 and 50 of them. Oh, and while we're at it, we get an achievement for playing 10 minigames. Oh, and of course I can't forget to mention one of the most iconic parts of any Yakuza game, the sub-stories. They do not disappoint when it comes to the weirdness, like this one where you have to fight a white tiger in the middle of a park in Hawaii. Oh, and of course I can't forget the VR headset that lets you speak to animals, where Noah's pet tiger talks to you and tries flirting with you like it's a dating simulator or some shit.
If you start eyeing other cats, I'll be really sad.
Bestiality! I don't want that achievement!
You get an achievement for completing 10 and 20 sub-stories. Once we accomplish enough in Honolulu, our ship finally gets fixed up, and one of the first things we can do is sing karaoke on board, which gives us another achievement. On our way back to Madlantis, we get introduced to the main side story of the game, which has us taking on 5 captains of a pirate group called the Devil Flags. Oh, we also get a flintlock pistol and a grappling hook at this point, which, again, I didn't get footage of like a dumbass. These both have stackable achievements relating to using them a certain amount of times within combat, as well as the cutlasses. Oh, and within the areas of Honolulu, we get optional talking points where we can have a natter with Noah. It creates a social link where we get to spend time with him at Revolve, and it ends with this cool drawing and an achievement. Anyway, back to the side mission. During the side mission to take on the Devil Flags, we pick off a few more achievements. To take them on, we need to travel around on our ship, find the islands they're occupying and defeat them. Each battle we win gives us a piece of treasure. So we get the achievements for looting 10 islands and getting 10 treasure. Islands aren't the only place we can find treasure though. On Honolulu, there are loads of chests that are hidden on top of buildings that you can only get to by grappling up there with your new grappling hook. This is how I got the achievement for finding 40 treasure, as well as the achievement for grappling 20 times. Another grappling related achievement is for snagging 30 bugs out of the air, which I got from just grabbing bugs whenever I saw them. This was useful for the next achievement, which was for cooking every single recipe in the cooking minigame. Recipes that required lots of bugs.
That's it! I've come up with a new recipe.
Do you see what I mean by you can get most of them in chapter 2? I'm still not done, by the way. Back to the devil flags, taking down each captain gives you a separate achievement. And this is something you're gonna want to do because the fights are amazing, with some of them having you take on 100 of their men with your entire crew. This isn't the only thing though, we get these cool cursed instruments just before each captain that lets us summon an animal mid-fight, and we get an achievement for playing all 4 of them, as well as playing them 30 times during combat. It's a lot of achievements. Anyway, I think we're properly equipped for the Madlantis Coliseum now, but before we head back there, we need to go to the mechanic again to craft 3 cannons, which gives us another achievement. Anyway, once we're back at Madlantis, we take on the tournament, doing 10 of them for another achievement. But for completing our first fight in the Coliseum, we get to meet the people who run Madlantis and get a big reveal that Noah's big sister Naomi is actually working for them. There's this whole conspiracy about a treasure, and honestly I don't think the story is a strong point for this game. It's good, but I don't know, none of it really gripped me. I also don't really want to give a big plot synopsis, so just know that we meet with Naomi in Honolulu and she gives us some information that this big treasure we've been looking for is on an island called Nele Island. And that's the end of chapter 2, giving us an achievement. Chapter 3 has us going back to Nele Island to confront the former Yakuza there about the treasure, knowing that they were keeping it hidden from us. Fun fact, you actually go back here during chapter 1, or it might have been chapter 2. I just forgot to record footage for it, so that's why it's not here and I didn't mention it. This is my first time making one of these videos, so cut me some slack. A few fights break out, with a really cool one against Majima's sworn brother Saejima, who came here to pick him up to take him back to Japan to treat his amnesia. Near the end of the fight, we get this sick throwback to Majima's final boss in Yakuza 0, where he performs the exact same move the final boss used on him back then. I'm unsure if they were just recycling the animation, but it's cool shit either way. Anyway, fuck the story. We need to go find some golden balls, which have suddenly appeared in Honolulu, and we get an achievement for finding 2 of them.
2 balls!
Oh, and there's this goofy ass dating show section where we need to get a bunch of girls for Masura, and it plays out in live action. It's very stupid, and I have a feeling these scenes are what takes up about 30 gigabytes of the game. We get an achievement for finishing this too. It really feels like the developers wanted people to play this section, because the actors probably cost a shitload of money to hire. Anyway, some other shit happens in the story with us pissing off the Palikana people on Nele Island relating to the treasure. There's no more achievements to get in this chapter, so just check out this silly scene where Majima runs away from a boulder, and this one boss fight that shows off how the monkey summon completely melts health bars.
Don't fuck with this monkey!
At the end, the Yakuza and Palikana members decide to team up with Majima to get the treasure, because the power of friendship just can't be beaten, ending chapter 3 and giving us an achievement. There's only one achievement we get in chapter 4, and that's this achievement for maxing out the social links with every member of the crew. We could only do it in this chapter because this is where we get these 2 geezers, as well as Saejima as main members of the crew. So we have a nice heart-to-heart with them, giving us an achievement. Back in Madlantis, our pirating has caught the attention of one of the leaders, Mortimer, who challenges us to a fight in the arena, and we aren't allowed to leave until we do. Not only this, but in the background they try and bribe Masura to sabotage our ship and throw the fight.
An old video, and it's of you, Masaru. 7 years ago.
But we knock some sense into him. We then fight Mortimer fair and square in an extremely fun boss fight. He surrenders and makes a deal to take the bounty off our heads in exchange for his life. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention he put a bounty on our heads.
Maybe a little neck snapping will jog your memory.
He's then shot multiple times for making a deal. We're then allowed to leave Madlantis, and we regroup at Nele Island, where we finally find out where the big treasure actually is. So we head out on the Goromaru to find it. Unfortunately for us, that treasure is being guarded by a giant fucking squid. The same giant fucking squid that destroyed the last boat Majima was on, causing his amnesia. So we get this cool boss fight against it, and due to its immense size, we have to use the Goromaru to take it down, which we successfully do, giving us a way into the island to find the treasure, ending the chapter and giving us an achievement. The treasure is actually on the island, and it's a fuckload of gold, which is cool and all, but there's a twist, where Noah's other sister Moana, who I forgot to mention, is being held hostage by the leaders of Madlantis, who want to exchange her for treasure, which causes a sudden betrayal from the Yakuza members because they don't want to lose a cut of the treasure because of some girl they don't even know. So we fuck up the Yakuza members that betray us. But wait, pause that story. We gotta go back to Madlantis for one more achievement. Waiting for us there is a secret boss called Amon. I don't know how to say his name. He's in basically every Yakuza game solely to be a pain in the arse. First of all, we need to do a ship battle with him, which took me a few attempts to do because his ship has 10,000 fucking health. After succeeding with that, he approaches us after and challenges us to a one-on-one. This is easily the hardest fight of the game. He has this one attack where he just makes a bunch of floating knives bombard you from the sky, as well as being able to summon phantoms of himself just like you. In fact, most of his moves are almost identical to yours, except he does like 50 times more damage. Regardless, I managed to take him down and I get the achievement. All that's left to do now is finishing off the story. So we save Moana by strapping a bomb to our chest on the boat with all the treasure, threatening to blow it sky high unless they give back Moana. We're then kidnapped and get the shit beaten out of us, with them threatening to take out Majima's one remaining eye, which wouldn't have been good because I imagine fighting a final boss with 0 eyes is probably hard. We take down the final boss, he gets eaten by a whale, Majima becomes pirate legend, we get an Ichiban cameo, which is always appreciated, and just like that, we beat the game and get the final achievement we need. This was my first attempt at making one of these 100% type videos, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Please let me know in the comments what I could have done better, and some possible games you'd like me to 100% next for a video. If you want to support the channel, then check out my Patreon. For £1 you get 1 week early access to every video, as well as getting access to polls for what game I play next on the channel.
I just remembered it's election day. Are you gonna vote?
I don't know. I don't think I'll have time today.
Then why don't you just fucking die already?
Regardless, I had a lot of fun 100%ing Pirate Yakuza, and I'm very excited to get on with the next game. Hopefully I'll see you all then.